You're listening to the WoA podcast
with Laura
and Lanina, where we talk about what's on your mind
right now. Hello, everybody.
Hello, hello, hello.
Laura here.
And Lanina.
Fixing my mic.
Pushing the mic closer to your mouth.
We want to make sure we can hear me this time.
Okay. So right now in the studio, we're being recorded by Nordos. She is a Columbia J School student, and she's profiling me because I'm kind of fancy.
I'm so fancy.
No, please do not bring Iggy Azalea into the studio.
What's wrong with Iggy Azalea?
You know, my issue with her is that I don't like the beef between Iggy Azalea and Azealia Banks. And
started by Azealia Banks.
I don't know that it's justified to say that it was started by Azealia Banks.
Okay.
I'm simply saying that Azealia Banks is reacting to Izzy. Their names are so similar that I'm getting. She's reacting. The black girl's reacting to the blonde. And her misappropriation of black culture. Boom. There you go.
I thought the black girl was jealous that the white girl is stepping in on her money making.
That's really interesting that you say that, because the black girl and the white girl both started out at the same exact time. Meanwhile, we hear nothing from the black girl.
I don't know about that.
What?
Because every time I watch Wendy Williams and she talks about Iggy Azalea and this Azalea thing, it's always saying that Azealia Banks is lashing out at Iggy Azalea. Everyone's lashing out at the white one.
Right. Their names are so similar, right? So I think it can't be just a coincidence that they've got such similar names.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
Someone
maybe
is
jealous. Like,
someone is jockeying off of someone else.
You because of your name. Change your name. Maybe that's what it's about. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go on a limb and say, yeah, that probably has something to do with it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go on a limb and say the blonde stole the black girl's name. Just saying. Misappropriation. Okay. That's what Azealia Banks is really mad about. She stole my name. Heifer, you know? And then became more successful at my name and my game. I think that's the root of it.
It's haterish.
Haterish, definitely.
Yeah.
Which brings us back to the Grammys.
Yeah, speaking of music, while we're here, we're going to talk today about a few things. First, starting with the Grammys. Which were your favorite? I didn't watch, by the way.
Okay,
I had to go online. Lanina said, let's do a podcast about the Grammys. I'm like, oh my God. So I go and I look. It takes me like 20 minutes to find the performances through all the Beck controversy, because every video is about Beck and Kanye West. And I'm just like, oh, forget it. I just want to see the performances.
So let's start with Album of the Year.
Okay.
And Beck's surprising win. And it's only surprising to anyone who doesn't know who Beck is.
Yes.
And I'm guilty of that. I did not know who he was.
I'm a loser, baby, so why don't you kill me? You remember that song?
No.
It's from...
That's an actual lyric?
That's a song.
Right.
Look, I can't say that I like Beck,
yeah,
but I know who he is. And so for people to say he didn't deserve it when they don't know who he is, that's... I feel is not right.
So basically, Kanye West made sure that everybody and their mama know who Beck is today.
He did Beck a favor, just like he did Taylor Swift a favor.
He helped Kanye West is just making people career like left and right. He's like, no, let me help you out.
I saw this cute picture of Kanye posing with Taylor Swift, and like someone was in between them, and she looked so happy because it's like you would think they'd have beef with each other, but she must love him because he put her on the map for so many more people.
So many more people. And if y'all don't know what we're talking about with Kanye, so Kanye, when Best Album was announced, Kanye went up on the stage and, faked a Kanye, right?
Yeah.
Faked like he was about to take the mic.
That was endearing. I was like, oh, he's making fun of himself. But then later.
Yeah. If it was like, oh, well, he's just making fun of himself, that's separate. But then he started on this rant, like, like you need to respect the artistry. And then it turned into something a little bit uglier. Because it's kind of like, well, what are you saying, that this man doesn't deserve his win?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't remember if it was The Soup or one of these shows that I watched. They showed the clip and they were like, just look at at Kim Kardashian's face, and like her face is like trying not to like freak out that her husband's a crazy person.
Okay, stop. I take offense to anybody calling Kanye West crazy.
Yeah, but what he
he's
was
not
saying,
crazy.
I'm not saying he's crazy. I'm saying what he said seemed a little crazy.
Okay, his delivery might have been off because he was
Yes.
probably heated.
Yes.
And that might not have been the best time to say it.
But why would you
But he's not
get
crazy.
heated over
What
Beyonce in front of your wife?
He's like, he's fed up. Like, yo,
With what?
From what I'm hearing, is just like, he's saying, like, you know, the Grammys is a white space. And I think it's time that we expand and consider other types of artistry. That's what I think he's saying.
But they have all different
That's
kinds
not what
of
he
categories.
said. But the most important award, the most important category was Best Album.
But his problem is that he takes the Grammys too seriously. Like, he actually thinks that winning a Grammy means you had the best album. When that's like an opinion thing.
I don't know. I don't know that he thinks that.
Well, I don't think it. I'm saying I don't think the Grammys mean anything. It's a great performance. I like watching the performers. But I don't think an award means you're any better. And Beyonce has something like 20 awards. I don't think she even needed another one or even cares.
So the thing about Kanye and in his music, I'm a Kanyeologist, right? I'm a fan of his music. He talks about, like, yeah, you know, the stuff doesn't really matter to him. However, he's saying, like, yeah, I'm going to speak my mind and I'm going to disrupt. And he's like, well, we need to do something about this, and I'm going to speak it. I'm going to speak what no one else wants to talk about. I don't think it really matters to him. I don't think he could care less. It really won't make a difference to him if he won or not. But he's saying, hey, how about we give other people a chance?
But why does he care about Beyonce? And it's not giving other people a chance because Beyonce won awards that night. Beyonce has won Best Album or whatever before. She has so many Grammy Awards. What is it? She doesn't need a handout at this point.
He's saying true artistry needs to be recognized.
And Beck is very talented.
I never heard of the fella.
He can play like
know.
like 4 instruments.
I wouldn't know. I don't want to talk. I'm sick of talking about Beyonce, Beck, and Kanye.
I don't want to defend Beck because I don't like him either. But I'll just say there were many more albums that were not nominated for anything on here that I thought were the best albums of the year for me.
Like who?
Like Royal Bloods, which you might know.
I have no idea who the Royal Bloods are.
They're from Brooklyn. They're very good. They're opening up for the Foo Fighters this summer.
Okay. And you're going to go see the Foo Fighters, right?
I'm going to go see. I'm going to be in row 1.
And you're going to be that groupie.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Sia, I thought, had a really amazing album, but she did win a few things.
Okay.
Did you see her performance?
I did. Well, I saw her back, which is weird.
She does that all the time.
It's strange.
That's her thing.
It's strange. You know that? It's like
Did
really, really strange.
Did you see the one where Lena Dunham did that?
No.
So this is her thing. Like, Sia will go out. She never wants to show her face.
Yeah.
She'll, like, turn around or she'll be on a bed, like, face down. She'll always be covering her face. And someone else and that little girl will always be in a leotard, the nude leotard.
Yeah.
Giving some kind of dramatic performance. And Lena Dunham did it once, and a few people have done it.
So this time with the Grammys,
With
Kristen Wiig
it was so good.
was in there. I thought it was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But it was just I just didn't get it. I'm like, why is she facing a wall?
But it was beautiful.
She's facing a wall.
But the set and the dance and everything was really really nice.
Fair enough. Well, in other Grammy news.
Yeah.
What else was
there?
there?
What other performances did you see?
So, I watched, I don't want to talk about the Beyonce-Ledisi controversy.
Because Beyonce, again, dressed like an angel, pretending she's perfect. Next, let's go. What's different about that?
I'm gonna like really distance myself from that comment because I don't think she was trying to pretend to be angelic or anything like that or perfect.
Okay,
She sang the song. No. Here you go. Don't shut me up.
Here we go. You said you don't want to talk about it.
So what was the name of the Beyonce song again?
Take My Hand, Precious Lord.
Yes, Take My Hand, Precious Lord. It's a gospel song by Mahalia Jackson. And so she sang it. And I thought it was great. later to come to find out that it was is one of the songs on the soundtrack of Selma, and it was originally performed by Ledisi. And so everyone's like, well, Beyonce stole her thunder. Okay. Who cares?
Not me.
I know. I knew you were going to say that.
Not me. But I did notice there's a lot of church songs. So you have that Take My Hand, Precious Lords. You have that Take Me to Church. You've heard that song, right?
Take Me to Church.
Take me to church. It's always
no, keep
on the
singing.
Radio. No, I'm good. I'm so good on that. But they had all these like Jesus songs.
Yeah.
Because they opened the show with AC/DC, Highway to Hell, and everyone wearing devil horns, and it was awesome.
Okay, so who was wearing devil horns?
I definitely saw Katy Perry wearing devil horns.
Okay.
And people think this might have to do with the Illuminati.
Okay.
I don't believe in it.
That was like my first reaction, like, oh my goodness, here goes the Illuminati rumors. I hope no Jay-Z and Beyonce and Rihanna did not have some horns on top of their heads, because then it will never end.
Does
never.
anyone know if they had devil horns on? Let us know. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I didn't catch it. I caught Katy Perry, and that's about it.
But it would shock me if they wore it.
Really?
Yeah, it would shock me.
They probably, if they weren't the Illuminati, they wouldn't have worn it. And first of all,
that's
how
crazy.
do you get into the Illuminati?
You've got to be rich and influential.
Well, I just
You've got
to be rich.
You've got to be nominated by the stands into like and someone's got to point a finger at you and say you're Illuminati because you're too wealthy and influential to not be. That's how you get in.
But then, what are the benefits of being in the Illuminati?
Not sure. I left
like,
my Illuminati
power?
card, on my desk, so I don't know.
Lenina is campaigning to be in the Illuminati.
No, I am not campaigning to be in the Illuminati. Let's make that clear.
All right. Did you see Lady Gaga and Tony Bennett?
I did.
What do you think of this whole partnership?
I thought it was weird because, okay, the partnership, cool. The song, cool. But the performance itself was a little bit strange. It felt a little bit too sexy. Like, just like the way Gaga was all up in his face.
But they did that even for the Christmas, like the Rockefeller Center thing.
Yeah.
She's always like all up on him, and I wonder about his wife. I'm always thinking about.
It's like, are they
where's
dating?
His wife? Yeah.
Wait a minute, are they dating for real?
The thing is, I really like Lady Gaga, and I like that like she has this new look. Like Madonna has her looks. Like her eras that go through, and I feel like this is her thing for the moment.
Yeah.
But I'm a little over it.
Okay.
Just because it's like I tried to listen to the album, I'm just not into it.
Because Madonna also performed.
Yeah.
With the horns.
And she looked great.
She had bull horns.
She looked great.
Yeah.
I have nothing else to say about Madonna.
Okay. Well, I think the real winner of the night was President Obama and his little cameo. So he introduced this It's On Us PSA, it's on us.org campaign, in which he came on and said, hey, we need to do something about domestic abuse, domestic violence towards women and girls, and let's speak out and take a pledge to make a difference.
Amen.
And so I say amen to a feminist president raising 2 daughters, and I think it's like absolutely phenomenal, really, really great. And so I applaud you. Slow clap. Yeah.
Fast clap from me.
Oh, fast clap. Slow clap.
And reminds me of our last podcast with Shoshana B. Roberts. Available now.
On iTunes. Yeah, definitely. It's because Shoshana is a star of the YouTube video that went viral on catcalling. She walked around Manhattan for 10 hours and she was catcalled over 108 times. But this is sexual harassment, and harassment in general is a subject that's dear to her because she was a victim of rape. She said that in the interview, she said that she was raped, and this is one of the reasons why she doesn't mind being the face of this campaign. We need to stop with the catcalling. Which brings me to a little interesting tidbit. So I vlog. You can catch that on the YouTube channel. WoA with Lenina. Yeah, and on Facebook. Women of Action with Lenina. I talked about my dad.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Hi, Daddy.
We love you. I love you. So in the vlog, I talked about my dad saying like, oh, wait, you're going to talk to that girl who walked around, Manhattan and was complimented? And I'm like, oh, no, she was not complimented. It's called harassment. And then in the vlog, I said, oh, man, like men are clueless about this, about like what women go through with catcalling, because when you're with your daughter, when you're with your girlfriend, when you're with your sister, men don't approach and say, hey, insert lewd comment here, because you're with a man. They won't do that. But it's when women are alone, that's when the catcall offenders will just come up and just spew lewd language. And so my dad watched his vlog because he's a fan of the show, Avi. And so he's like, Lenina, I can't believe it. You portrayed me like this. And then you called me clueless. And then I said, oh, well, okay. He's like, I misportrayed him. And one of the things was like, okay, well, I didn't mean to say like she was complimented. I mean like she was sexually harassed.
So
Fine.
what would you like to say to your father at the moment?
Oh.
What's your message to him?
My message would be like, I vlogged again. And then I vlogged about my dad being upset about the vlog.
Okay.
Yeah. And I can see why he's upset.
More to come.
Yeah, I can see why he'd be upset about the vlog. But I'm simply using him as an example of like the overarching like cultural issues we have with catcalling and like that tone deafness. Like men don't quite understand. They don't get it. They don't get what it is to like walk down the street and be
I'm
scared.
sure there are some men who get it. Like those stripper type, like a Channing Tatum probably gets it.
Oh my God! Stop it! Stop! It's not the same thing.
I know it's not the same thing.
Okay.
I'm just saying he might understand a little better than most men.
Okay.
Someone
Well,
like him.
fair enough. And I didn't mean to offend my daddy.
She's sorry.
Don't you say that. My point.
I want
was
you to
very
have a place
specific.
to live.
I go home and like all my stuff is in boxes,
A roof
right?
over your head during these cold winter nights.
Good looking out. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I mischaracterized you.
No more.
No, I
She's
have to
sorry.
be.
Period.
No. When you apologize, you have to make it authentic, right? I'm sorry that I mischaracterized him. He is a feminist, and he's one of the first. He has 3 daughters, and he raised us just like he would have raised anyone. And while there is no evidence that he would have raised us differently than a boy because he didn't have a boy, but he raised us like, no, you're going to do this like anybody else.
You're digging the hole.
My dad is a feminist.
Stop
Let's
while
that
you're
be
ahead.
clear. Boom.
Good job.
Thanks.
Shout out to all the feminists out there.
Shout out to all the feminist dads out there. That's right.
Back to music.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Since I don't know how seriously you take the Grammy Awards, but what are some of your favorite albums from this year, or songs, or artists?
Okay. Some of my favorite albums. I'm listening to a lot of Beyonce. I'm listening to Kendrick Lamar. Mm-hmm. I have my iPod right here. I can just run down the list, right? But I'm really, really big on music. A lot of John Legend.
Mm-hmm. His new album was really great. His latest one. Yeah,
that was really great. Except I didn't listen to it in its entirety. So
it's good.
Good singles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Excellent.
I am listening to Sia, St. Vincent, who won an award. I see St. Vincent won something. I'm very proud of her. I want to give a shout out to Dave Grohl. He's awesome. That Sonic Highways documentary on HBO is like amazing.
You're explaining
So
because
good.
like I'm giving you a blank stare. Like who are these people?
Dave Grohl is the singer of the Foo Fighters.
Oh yeah,
Right?
yeah.
The guy you called the scruffy guy.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a really cool documentary where he goes to different cities and they make a song in every city and they show the history of music in that city. It's really good.
Okay, I'll have to catch that.
Yeah, good. And then some other strange, obscure bands that you won't know.
Okay, well then we don't need to talk about it.
No, we don't. And shout out, I say special mention to Lady Gaga for making lots of money with Tony Bennett.
Get that cash, girl.
Money,
Good,
honey.
So, like, in other news besides Grammy,
Yeah.
so, like, the big kick up is with Brian Williams. He's the anchor over there at, was it NBC?
I think so.
Yeah, NBC. And the nightly news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They put him on a hiatus now.
He's been, like, he's sidelined for 6 months. And the
Good.
big thing is he lied about his experience in Iraq.
I don't know.
You don't know.
I have studied psychology,
Mm-hmm.
and I find it very interesting how memories might change over time. And so if he was telling the story and everyone was like, oh, you're so awesome, and then it became a bigger story and a bigger story, and he, you know, exaggerated things a little more, I can see how that could happen.
Okay, so the backstory with Brian Williams is that about 10 years ago, during the war in Iraq, he was reporting from the field, and he was in a helicopter, and he there was some kind of firefight, and his plane got like, well, they landed. And that's the story. And so, like, he reported that, hey, you know, there was a firefight, and we had to land for a little bit, and there was a sandstorm, and there was this and this and this going on. And then, so every time he told the story, it changed just a little bit more to the point where it was like, my helicopter got shot out of the sky. Okay, now I'm
a hero.
Like, look at me. I've got battle wounds, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm one for, like, dramatic flair and adding a little, you know, a little spice to the story. You know, all of a sudden it's a really big thing.
Yeah.
And that just wasn't accurate. It was a flat out lie. And I keep looking at it and think, oh, well, maybe it's maybe I'm trying to find a way from out of this. Like,
But it sounds
maybe
like
it
you're
wasn't
saying
a lie.
there's a line between exaggerating and lying.
Yes. And it was a flat out lie to say our helicopter
Our plane
got
was shot at when it wasn't his plane. Is that
it was a helicopter, and it was and it got shot down 15 minutes before he arrived at the location. So it's kind of like you weren't even near it.
It was a different helicopter.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like, come on, yeah.
I don't know. I think what does it mean to be a journalist? You know, like, you have certain responsibilities, especially someone like Brian Williams. He's reporting the news. And so he has to be very accurate. I mean...
Accurate.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's wrong that he lied.
But he didn't even have to, because it was a big enough story as it is.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, man, you were in Iraq and you got involved in this, like, you know, this scuff-up. Oh, my goodness, that's awesome.
I don't think he maliciously lied.
No, I don't think
I'll
so.
say that to defend him, but he still lied.
Yeah, he probably wasn't thinking, I'm
You're a
going to make
journalist,
my
you
career.
got to fact check. So maybe you want to call up the person who was with you and say, hey, do you remember? Because I'm not sure. Or
I
there's
think you
some
would
kind of record.
remember if your helicopter got shot out of the sky.
Probably.
Yeah, I think you would. It'd be very memorable.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
do you think he deserves to be taken off for 6 months?
I think he's getting off easy.
You think?
Yeah, his whole entire job is based off his integrity and reporting the news accurately. That's his job, and he did it incompetently. Hello, like, come on, that's what he gets paid to do.
But if it truly was a mistake, would he? I mean, you would say he should be fired for it. It's just once that he did something. It's not like he has a history of lying.
Well, now they're
and
calling to
lying.
question everything that he's
Really?
ever reported on. Like Katrina, they're like digging and like fact checking that. And so it's kind of like, okay, so you told a story once and you embellished, but then you just kept on going with it and going for years.
But I don't
for
trust
years.
anything I hear on the news. So, I mean, I don't know.
That'd be a good, interesting lesson to learn. Like, don't trust anything you hear.
Yeah.
Hello.
DTA.
What does
Don't
that mean?
trust anyone.
Don't trust. Whoa. Okay. What else is on
Stone
your
Cold
mind?
said that.
Is that the wrestler?
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, I wanted to tell you about this wrestling story.
Okay, let's hear
You're
it.
probably not aware of it. We're going to Google it later.
Okay, what?
This wrestler named Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
He, so the WWE website has this thing where they're their performer's Facebook page and their Twitter feed goes to the website. So he was cheating on his fiance.
In real life?
In real life. And the fiance found pictures of his phone, on his phone, of the girl he was cheating on her with. And she tweeted those pictures, naked pictures of the girl, naked pictures of him, full frontal naked pictures of him and then on the website.
Did you get to see the whole blow up?
Yes.
You saw it?
It's there.
Is it still there?
Yes, I'll show you.
Did you get a screen grab?
No, you don't need a screen grab. There's websites that are like, hey, you want to see it? Here.
Oh, my God. Oh, my goodness.
So I'm just laughing because it was on the website and they...
They didn't catch it on time.
And good for her, because I might have done the same thing. I mean, he deserved that.
Really?
To be put on blast like that, he deserved it.
I don't know. If you have to go to those lengths to humiliate someone, then maybe it's best that you leave sooner rather than later.
Yes.
That's it.
But I find it very funny.
It's still funny, and we're still laughing about it.
And we'll be looking.
But it's ratchet as hell. Ratchet.
Yeah. Anyway. And, also about the Brian Williams thing.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to say, I mean, what are his credentials? Does anybody know, like, what did he study or, like...
I mean, he's a veteran. He's been doing this for a long time. He's not a spring chicken.
But does that mean he has, like, frequent classes on journalism, like updated things? Or, I mean, some of these people, they're just in that job forever. Mm-hmm. They never want to learn anything new.
So that thing about
holding a seat, you know.
The thing about anchors is that like they're treated like celebrities, and so it's already something different. It's like okay, well, they've transcended journalists into personality. And I'm sure, it's like
they're like a commentator at that point. It's not even a credible person anymore.
Now, how seriously can we take our anchors?
I mean, as people in media ourselves, we know that almost anyone can become a journalist. And there are things you need to become a journalist, and some are better at it than others. Some get more schooling than others, but
of course,
anyone can become a journalist. And so it's like, should we be asking more of
especially since we're in like the YouTube age where and the blogging is like where anyone can do these, everyone has a platform to do what they want.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they're reporting on like actual news.
Yeah. And
but Brian Williams is a real reporter. Well, was a
what
real
does real reporter even mean, though?
I have no idea.
Because if he's a real reporter and he's lying,
is there any hope?
DTA. Our next topic, Serial, the podcast.
Dun 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 dun. Who done it? Okay, wait. Are people actually listening to Serial?
I don't know. I think we're the only ones, and our friend Annette.
No, we're not the only
Are
ones.
We not?
Like literally, before I started listening to it, and I'm late to the bandwagon of the Serial bandwagon, right? I had 3 people tell me about Serial. Girl, you got to listen to it. Girl, you got to listen to it. So this is a phenomenon, and everybody wants to know who's Adnan Sayed, and did he do it?
Yeah.
And why is he in jail?
And who really killed her if he didn't do it?
Yeah.
What's her name? Hey?
Heyman Lee. It's so crazy. A girl's dead and you make jokes.
Her name is Hyman. All right, fine.
Yeah.
Lenina told me about the podcast, and then I was like, oh, okay, fine. And then Annette told me about it, and I'm like, okay, fine. And then I started listening, and I became hooked. Somewhere around like episode 4, until last Friday, I was home and I listened to the whole thing
in one shot.
In one shot.
So
I was taking the phone with me everywhere. I'm like, I have to listen to it. I have to see what's going on. Once they started talking about Jay, that's when I was like, ooh, like it got really good at that point.
Shout out to our colleague Annette. She is a friend to the show.
Hi, Annette.
Hey. And we're going to tell her, like, hey, we totally shouted you out on the podcast.
Yeah.
So she is one of the reasons why, like, I started listening to Serial, and every day, like, I'd listen to I'd listen to 1 or 2 episodes, and I'd run to her and like, girl, oh my goodness, can you believe? And she'd be like, I know, Lenina, I know, just keep listening. She's like, I don't want to spoil it for you, but just keep listening. And so I did. And finally, I got to the end, and I just ran over to her. I'm like, I just finished it. I can't believe it. Adnan Sayed does not belong in jail.
You think that?
I don't think he belongs in jail. I don't know if he did it.
There was enough evidence to put him in jail.
Yeah. I think they butchered his trial. Like, his defense it's kind of laughable how bad it was.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of like, I don't think this kid needs to be in jail right now.
And it's sad because his family spent so much money and his community got all this money together to get him a good lawyer, and they didn't know that she had all these issues going on. I don't know what was going on with her. They didn't really say. It sounded like she was a drug addict or something.
Gutierrez. What was her first name?
I don't know.
Either way, she wasn't interviewed for this podcast.
Yeah, but she died.
She died in.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. That was a little belch. She died in 2004. And that wasn't a chuckle for the.
Shady.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I'm that so whole trial.
Why don't you just take over for a minute while I watch this down?
Listen, my thoughts. They said that spoiler alert, by the way, if you haven't heard it already, you should definitely listen to the podcast. It's really great. This guy Jay, he seemed like a shady character, and then I read some article where he was talking, I don't know, Daily News or something. He was talking to someone and said, I was misrepresented in the podcast, you know, I told my story. And it sounded like to me that he is a shady person, and he was more involved with the killing of this girl than the guy in jail, than Adnan.
Interesting. Let's take it back to recap what Serial is.
Okay.
And explain, like, to people who haven't listened to it yet, why they should listen. So Serial is produced by the creators of This American Life. And it's the reporter, Sarah Koenig, heard about this kid, Adnan Sayed, through a lawyer. Can't remember what the lawyer's name is. But now, like, I feel like I'm on first name basis with all these people because I've been listening to their story for I don't know how long. So Sarah took on this case and she researched it for a year, and she left no stone unturned and talked to as many people as possible about this case and about Adnan Sayed and what happened on that day that Heyman Lee disappeared. Well, rather was murdered. And then take it away.
And then there's all these shady people. She's talking to all these people, and there are friends of the girl. They're friends from school. These are like high school kids at the time. But she's speaking to them now, 15 years later, or however many years later. But she is talking to them, and most of them don't remember what happened. Most of them are like, oh, well, probably, you know, this might have happened. Yeah, sure, whatever. It's like no one really cares. And then.
But how much can you really remember from 15 years ago?
That was the first episode, was her saying people don't remember things.
Don't remember.
2 days ago. How are they going to remember 15 years ago?
Exactly.
But it seemed to me like Jay is the prime suspect. And
why is he prime for you? Why?
No, listen to my theory.
Okay, let's hear it.
So no one asked about Jay's girlfriend, Stephanie. She was the only one that showed up with him to the trial. He said in whatever interviews or whatever that he would do anything for her.
Okay.
So to me, being a filmmaker and a writer and all these things, I'm like, he killed Hay for her. Or
cancel.
Hay.
No,
we don't. Allegedly, she killed Hay. And he covered it up. This is my my drama in my head of what might have happened, because no one ever asked.
Whodunit, right?
Yeah, no one ever asked her anything. She's just silent.
Okay, so we don't know anything that happens, right?
No,
because
but I
weren't there.
Sarah to talk to her.
Here, the fact remains that Jay was the one who told the cops where the car was. He knew where the car was.
And he said that he helped him bury the body or something like that.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
He assisted.
Among a few lies, yeah.
Well, we don't know if they're lies, but we know what he said.
He said a few times.
Okay, fair enough. He went back on his story and then changed it.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting, right?
Yeah.
Like, this whole entire story is suspect. Like,
Yeah.
no one is what they seem. You don't know who to trust. DTA? DTA. It's like, for real.
The moral. But there was this one thing in, like, one of the first episodes that made me think it was Anon because they said he was wearing red gloves. And then a couple episodes later, they said that there was a red fiber found on her body. But they never connected, like, because they said when they got those scientist people involved,
Okay.
they found, like, fibers and stuff, like forensic things. And they found, like, a red string on her body. And it was like, well, why didn't you ever see if that was from the glove? And where
Because
are the
they
gloves?
butchered this case.
They butchered it.
Butchered. It's like, it was the strangest things, like the obvious things, like, oh, well, you know, Adnan has an alibi. Let's talk to her.
Where are his clothes?
Where's
the shovel?
But he had, a woman came forward and said, hey, I saw him after school. And so that, so the defense, the prosecutor had like this timeline, and it just doesn't, and this alibi doesn't, you know, fit into the timeline that they've set forward, the prosecutors set forward. So if he was actually, you know, in the library versus out and about at that specific time, that little window of time, then they have no case. But why wasn't this girl like put on the stand?
Listen, I watch enough Law and Order to know.
Oh, okay. Let's hear it.
You need more than a timeline and one person saying, I saw this person, to put somebody in jail. They needed some kind of forensic evidence. They needed some dirt under her fingers. They needed some, like, murder weapon or something.
Yeah.
Something. They had nothing, and they put him in jail based on, like, oh, this person said that
seems
they
like
think
circumstantial.
Yeah,
and
they think he's capable
he
of
said,
it.
She said.
Yeah. So
that's unfortunate.
And then to take the main testimony comes from a guy who lied to the cops multiple times and changed his story a few times. So it's like,
suspect.
To me, that's not a credible person to put someone in jail over. And for him to be in jail for his whole life when they don't have evidence seems like maybe 10 years would have been still not deserved. But if you're not sure, you're going to put somebody away for life?
Look, all the prosecutors were certain enough to say, hey, we have a case here.
Yeah. Well, I don't know for sure. But
well,
I think
we don't know.
Stephanie did it.
Here's the thing.